Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the opening of Waverley Council's Love the Coast photography exhibition, which will showcase the works of our amazing local photographers. We're still waiting for a few people to join us, but I think, woohoo, it's very exciting. Thanks, Kasia. So let's get started. The exhibition that we're opening tonight brings you the best of the Love the Coast photography competition with works that capture the connection with the local environment and also the diversity, the drama and the day-to-day life of our beautiful coast. Still got a few people joining, but I will let you know that my name is Suzanne Dunford and I'm your MC for this evening. And I'm Council's Manager of Sustainability and Resilience. Good evening, Councillor Wykenak. It's nice to have you here today as well. I would like to start tonight's proceedings by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land where Waverley is and where most of us are meeting tonight, which is the Bidjigal and the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, who traditionally occupy the Sydney coast. And we'd like to acknowledge Aboriginal elders, both past and present. So as we prepare to get started, first there's a little bit of housekeeping I'd like to share with you. This meeting is being recorded and published and will be published to Waverley Council's Facebook page later. So we have a moderator in the room tonight and we're trying to mute microphones. So if you're not muted, please try and mute your microphone. However, if you have a question or a comment, please feel free to add it to the chat function and we'll get back to you. Also, can I suggest that you put your view onto speaker view for the best results tonight? So what will we hear from tonight? Tonight, we're going to be hearing from our Mayor, Paul Marcellus, who will be opening the exhibition. You'll also get to meet our esteemed judge and local resident, Paul Blackmore. And we will also enjoy a short virtual tour of the exhibition. So you might want to get some little refreshments ready for our little swan about the gallery later. But I think we're ready to get started. So without further ado, may I introduce the Mayor of Waverley, Paul Marcellus, to open our exhibition.
Thank you, Susan, and good evening, everyone, and a very warm welcome to you all. And thank you for zooming in to be part of this really lovely, lovely initiative. And I want to congratulate everyone for doing this and for participating in it. Now, as Susan said, we're actually going to be announcing the winners tonight, and there will be an opportunity to actually have a virtual go around the gallery space. So I'm certainly looking forward to that. Now, before I start, I too would like to acknowledge the original custodians on the land on which we gather, the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation. And I'd also like to pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging, and extend that respect to all Indigenous Australians. I also want to welcome my colleague, Councillor Dominic Wykenak, who's with us tonight. Welcome, Dominic. I also give a warm welcome and thanks to our very esteemed local photographer, Paul Blackmore, who had the really difficult job of judging these amazing entries, close on 100 entries, I think we got this year. It's a task I don't envy, Paul. And I have to say, reading your CV, I'm absolutely thrilled and honoured that you agreed to be part of this. We're truly grateful and thankful.
It's my pleasure. It's a thrill.
Well, it just shows what amazing talent we have in Waverley, and that is something that I value and treasure. So thank you. Now, the Love the Coast photo exhibition is made up of artists who applied to participate as part of our annual Summerama Community Festival, which is held from January to March every year. And it's quite a fabulous event because it actually focuses on the environment and our commitment to a sustainable way of life. As it were, sustainability as second nature. And every year there are some really fabulous exhibitions and events, but this year, being COVID, we have a COVID Summerama. So we're not actually able to have some of the usual things like that wonderful native animal zoo down at Bronte Park. I don't know if you've seen that, but if we don't have COVID Summerama next year, keep an eye out for that. Taronga actually brings its native animals in, and you can actually touch an echidna and touch a blue-tongue lizard, and it's just fantastic, and the kids love it. But for this year, the Love the Coast photo competition is just part of the offerings that we have for this year. It includes movie screenings, and I gather there are some really fabulous movies that will be available. There'll be talks and treasure hunts. And I know that Plastic Free Bronte is organising its annual beach clean as well. So you can actually jump onto Council's website, and there'll be a whole range of activities, COVID safe activities that you can become involved with. Now, Waverley Council's connection to nature and the coast is a part of our way of life. And you can see that every day with people out and about in the water, on the sand, in our gullies, in our parks, enjoying life. And Council acknowledges the strength of that connection. And we developed this exhibition as a way to explore and celebrate the many unique ways that people of Waverley connect, understand, and value our coastline. Love the Coast promotes the role each one of us can play in taking care of our very precious coastal environment, its people, animals, and plants. And as a swimmer, you know, I can see that rich abundance of life within our waters, within the coastal environment. It's very precious, and we all have a really important role to play in its preservation. This year is the second year of Love the Coast, and with more than 45 local photographers entered this year, each one of them brings their very unique perspective to this initiative. And I'm just really thrilled that we've actually managed 45 local photographers. It just shows what an amazing place Waverley is, and just how inspirational our environment is for people in the creative arts. Now, Summerama, though, would not be possible without our fantastic collaborators, our valued local community environment groups, including Transition Bondi, Boomerang Bag, Sydney Eastern Suburbs, Plastic Free Bronte, Seaside Scavenge, Responsible Runners Bondi, Wilderness Eastside Community Group, and Protect Our One. All of these groups have done amazing things, so we certainly recognise them for their amazing efforts. As you'll see tonight, there are some truly breathtaking works in the exhibition, which you can view in person at the Waverley Library Galleries, where we showcase the works of local artists and thinkers, share ideas, and celebrate our unique heritage and culture, or online through the Second Nature website. Waverley Council runs programs to enable actions that can help protect both the global and local environment through providing habitat for native animals and plants, reducing greenhouse emissions, and keeping our beaches clean. I invite you to discover Waverley's many parks and visit places in our LGA that you may not have explored before. And we do have lots of reserves and protected areas. And you can also consider joining a local bush care group. And it's just really fabulous to get together on a Sunday with bush care, really rehabilitating. There are some rehabilitating our environment, and there are some fabulous successes that have happened there. Or you can apply to have your garden included in our Living Connections program, where we're creating corridors for our beautiful and fabulous birds. Lastly, before I hand back to our MC to introduce our very esteemed judge, Paul Blackmore, I would like to again congratulate our local photographers for being part of Love the Coast and sharing their very unique perspectives through their images. As an amateur photographer myself, I understand just how beautiful and inspiring our Waverley area is. And it's truly a plethora of riches, it really is. And I'm continually blown away by the talent that we have here in Waverley. And as research shows, spending time in nature can have a very positive effect on people's well-being. And I feel an intense sense of calm when I look at the photos in Love the Coast. And don't forget, when you're out and about in nature, don't forget to social distance as we're still in a pandemic. So without delay, I hand you back to Susan. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Paula, for that very heartfelt opening speech for our exhibition tonight. As Paula said, we're very honoured to have Paul Blackmore as our judge this year. For those of you who don't know him, Paul is an acclaimed local photojournalist. He's published 3 books, and you may have caught his solo show at the Head-On Festival at the Bondi Pavilion Gallery last year. Paul, thank you so much for joining us tonight and for all the work you've done leading up until tonight. You've got a really impressive and wide-ranging career. You're being published in Time, L'Express, Le Monde, Geo, and you've shown at some of Australia's most important photographic galleries, including Stills and the Centre for Contemporary Photography, as well as your recent inclusion in the Water exhibition at the Gallery of Modern Art in Brisbane. So, can you tell us, going back to the beginning, where did your photographic journey actually start?
Well, I caught the bug when I was very young. I think I was about 15, and a friend of mine introduced me to photography, and he had a dark room, and when I went into the dark room, I just fell in love. And despite my best efforts of trying to do something else, I just fell straight into it, and I've been shooting ever since, really. Yeah, once I left university, that was it. That was a compulsion, and I ended up working for the magazines, and later on started publishing books and exhibiting, and that's been my journey for the last 25 years.
Well, you seem to know what you're doing now, I'd have to say. You've been in it for a while now. We don't envy your job today, having to make a selection from these amazing photographs. But can you tell us, from your perspective and experience, what actually makes a great photograph? And what were you looking for when you judged the Love the Coast competition?
I'm looking, firstly, I felt like everyone had answered the brief. Like you could really sense that everyone did love the coast and wanted to express that in their own particular way. But I'm looking for interesting ways that they've talked about that, that feeling. And it could be, in some cases, use of light or movement, or trying to capture some sort of emotion or that moment in time. And there was such a varied point of view from all the work. Each one had different sort of qualities. And yeah, so I was just looking for photographers who had a voice and who were successfully projecting that voice visually. Yeah.
That's great. I mean, you mentioned that voice. And my next question is, do you have advice for photographers in the community who might be starting out, but they are looking to build a career and to publish, because we know it's incredibly competitive? What advice would you give someone who's looking to make photography a career?
Make sure it's your passion, and you just, like all creative fields, you have to really, you really got to jump in boots and all. And whatever it is you want to talk about photographically, just to really develop that and keep going. And then if you do something well enough, people will find you and you'll find an audience. And doing things like this, putting your work into competitions, is a great way of doing it.
Excellent advice. I'm sure we've got more than 30 people in here tonight, and I think they're all actually waiting to hear the results of the competition. Great. So I'll hand over to you now for the moment everyone's waiting for. Can you please announce the winners of the 2021 Love the Coast Photography Exhibition?
So I'm just going to bring up my sheet. So I can't see anything there. Oh, there we go. First of all, there was 2 runners up because I couldn't decide. They were so fantastic, these shots, and they're so different. But the 2 runners up I chose, the first runner up was Owen Myers, his photo of Bondi locals, and it's a scene that you see every day, but he just captured that beautifully. He used light, really, the afternoon really light very well. And there's a great narrative of, you just see this this chap going into the water, and you can see he does it every afternoon. And so I just thought this was a really successful photo, told the narrative in a dramatic way, and it was beautifully composed and a great use of light. So congratulations to the first runner-up, Owen. And the next one was Nick Holton, and this is just a really amazing, striking image. And for me, just it's just a really just shows you how lucky we are to live on this coast. That you see this, we've still got nature around. We see dolphins, we see whales, we see these schools of fish, and the seal here having a little fish. I just thought it was a really amazing, dramatic shot, and yeah, congratulations to Nick. That was really fantastic as well. And congratulations to the winner, Asfiha. So hopefully I'm saying that correct. This is just a really stunning shot. I just love it. I love the tones in it. But most of all, I love the feeling that I get from this photo, which is that I'm actually in the water. And as someone who is a swimmer and an ocean lover, and I think many of us who live around here shares that love of the water, this really gave me a sense of what it is to be in the water. And I just thought the use of light, the composition, the silkiness of the water, and the bubble on the bottom left-hand side, I thought it was just such a fantastic shot that talked about what's it like to go into the water, and the story behind it, you know, going in there with the brother who swims a lot. Just thought it was really fantastic, and just stunning use of color and composition. So I want to congratulations to all the winners.
Thank you so much, Paul. And I'd also like to congratulate the winners, as I totally agree. Those shots are incredibly emotive and stunning. And I felt like I was just on a little planet in a galaxy when I saw that last one. So amazing work. Congratulations to those winning artists, but also to all the participants. So we've now heard from the judge, but now let's look at all the finalists and see if we agree, because as we've said, it was a very difficult decision. So what we thought we'd do next is have a little swan about the gallery. So grab a refreshment or recharge your glass if you'd like to, and we'll take a short virtual tour of the exhibition.
All right. The photos, as Suze and our judge Paul said, were amazing. I was the one getting all of the photos and I couldn't stop looking at them. We have a photo here from Zach Coonan, an untitled photo taken at Bronte Beach. And we have Adet Bronte Pool and Mark with surf check, I believe, taken at Bondi.
Then we have another two works. This is Adet's Bondi Pool and Walk, a beautiful view from above. And Nick's work, another one from Nick called Salty Skull, which is a wonderful aerial perspective of fish swimming that looks like a skull.
We have Martin Smith. This photo was taken at Bondi Beach as well. And Lucy Satinoff with Spring Surf.
Then we have Nick's work we've already seen as our runner-up today, and Chris Fisher with Sultry Sky versus Seductive Sea. A beautiful title there.
We then have Diego Garcia Alvarado with Cobbler Catfish. Juliana, I'm really sorry, Juliana, I don't think I'll be able to say your surname. It's a very amazing one with Awakening. We have Owen Myers, who is our runner-up, and we also have Eve White with Whitewash.
Then we have Jules with Reflections at Bronte Beach, and Candace with Bondi Morning Rituals, sorry.
We have Dan Wilkinson with Ben Buckler Dropping Bombs, and Sophia with Red Sun, and Ganesh Prasad with Mighty Waves.
Then we have Kim's work, Healing Powers of the Sea, and Dov's work, Moonrise Swimming. And that is the end of our virtual tour. But to check out the works in the flesh, make sure you check out the exhibition at the Waverley Library or go to Love the Coast online.
And keep an eye from an email coming from the Enviro or Second Nature email address. We'll be sending you a link to the online voting page so that you can vote and get other people to vote for the People's Choice Award.
Thank you so much, Ali and Todd, for being our tour guides through the gallery this afternoon. Personally, I can't wait to get down to the Waverley Library and check them out in person. They were absolutely arresting images, and I'm astonished at the work of amateur photographers that we have here. As Ali has said, or has already been mentioned, don't forget that you can now vote for your favourite photo for the People's Choice Award on our Second Nature website. Ali is going to send the link around and the page will be up shortly. So if you think about it, we'll send a few prompts, but in the next few days, jump on to secondnature.org.au, find the Love the Coast voting page and cast your vote. The People's Choice winner is probably the one that gets the most eyeballs, but they'll also win a cash prize. So go in and cast your vote as an expert judge on which one you think best sums up the way you feel about the coast and how you love the coast. While you're on the Second Nature website, you might like to check out some of the other Summerama activities on offer. As Paula mentioned, there's a poetry comp, there's film screenings, there's a treasure hunt, which is getting a lot of interest, especially over the school holidays. All the info is also on the council website, just on the front page, so be sure to check it out. Also, if you like what you see, don't be afraid to share the good news with families and friends, and also share it on social media, because we'd like to draw as much attention as possible to the amazing locally sourced talent that we have here in Waverley. So we're at the end of our exhibition opening. I'm sorry that we can't offer you a glass of wine and a piece of cheese, but I would like to thank you very much for joining us tonight for this online launch of the 2021 Love the Coast photo exhibition. A special thanks to the Mayor, Paula Marcellus, to our judge, Paul Blackmore, and to all the participating photographers and our Summerama partners, our local community environment groups who really do help us put this whole Summerama Festival on. I'd also like to give special thanks to Todd Fuller from Cultural Programs for organising the exhibition and for the behind the scenes work tonight. And of course, I'd love to thank the indomitable Ali Torres, who has conceived, organised and delivered this great competition and event. So congratulations once again. Stay safe, everybody, and enjoy your evening. And we'll see you soon at the Waverley Library.